Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this RGL Highlander Season 11 Week 2 matchup between Wish Mode and Man Crush Monday. I am Zagron, joined by Rogue this time to my side, as Alto has been called in as an emergency sub, and then we have Dolphin behind the camera as usual. So, how are you doing, Rogue? First cast of the season, how's it feel?
Hi, Zach. It's good to be back. I'm here at the bottom of a echoing abyss, apparently. I hope you all don't mind. But I'm excited for this game. I think it goes without saying, this is pretty much the match of the season. Best teams in Invite that don't have me on them. So I'm super hyped to see this match. What about you?
Oh yeah, this is definitely a match that everyone's been looking forward to. We got Wish Mode, Man Crush Monday. These are the two favorites coming into the season. Rosters of stacked players. A lot of them have championships behind their belts already on their trophy cases, showing them off. And now we'll get to see which of these teams is going to be in the lead coming into playoffs, because we are expecting both these teams to definitively qualify. First seed is probably on the line tonight, as we expect these teams to beat everyone else, barring any upsets, which they can happen, but this is the big one.
Absolutely. And we've seen them, of course, it's been a long preseason, very exciting. But I think these teams have come in pretty hot here to a map like Vigil. On Koth, we've seen it all before. People at each other's throats, a ton of DM. On these longer drawn out payloads like Upward or Swiftwater, there's so many tactics, but on Vigil, you can start rolling and roll all the way to last. So these guys are coming in really hot for this one.
Yep, one of the newest maps in our rotation. I say that it's multiple seasons old. The teams are getting very good at it. We're on Payload Vigil RC9, so it's a new version. There's a couple changes, mostly to last, I believe. Yeah, the last looks bigger. There's more area for the defense to work with. But for now, we can go through the rosters real quick, as the teams are almost already fully loaded into the server. On Wish mode, we're going to be having Wish on Scout, Demento on Soldier, Carson on Pyro, Joey Lemons on Demo Man, Adam on Heavy, Hyphen on Engineer, Blake on Medic, Blank on Sniper, and then AGB on Spy.
And rivaling them with my old dear friends and team Man Crush Monday is Weil on Scout, Etney on Soldier, RJ on Pyro, Giraffe Demo, Sand on Heavy, Spamfest Rocking Engineer, Figsy on Medic, Watterson Sniping, and Evil rounding it out on Spy.
Now, we do know most of these players. All of you who are familiar with Highlander know pretty much all these players. They've been in Invite for forever. They've been playing Team Fortress 2 for forever. But we do have some interesting role swaps for both these teams. I want to point out Demento on Soldier. I have experience with Demento on Soldier way back in the UGC days, where I'll tell you guys a quick tale. Once upon a time, there was a team called Dodoris in UGC Platinum. They went 8-0 in the regular season, even beating DK. And then we got fourth place in the playoffs because our flank collapsed and we had to sub in Demento on Soldier. I'm not saying it's his fault. That's just funny because the team was in tatters by that point. But that's my experience with Demento Soldier. I'm sure he's a better player overall and he'll be able to carry his weight. But there are multiple changes as well, such as Weil on Scout for Man Crush Monday. We're so used to seeing Triple on Scout for MCM. He's been their staple scout for forever now, and he's been one of the best scouts to play Highlander in the modern era, in my opinion. He just does such a good job being that consistent threat. I want to see how Weil's going to transition from sniper to scout here.
And that's what's always scary, right? Is these guys aren't as good as maybe like the best of the best on their class, but they're still so good. I mean, we're even moving some people around. Like Carson is on Pyro for the Wish team, right? And Hyphen on Engineer. I mean, Hyphen plays a lot of Engineer, sure, but even someone like Carson is just so good. He's almost like too good to do bad. Same with Demento, where even if they're not putting up the numbers on the scoreboard, they're still calling the right way. They're still in such powerful positions. They still cause crazy chaos when everyone's coordinating together. So these teams are like, what's it like? The banks are too big to fail, right? So both of these teams have so much tenure and so many strong players that they're both kind of too good to lose. And that's crazy. We have two teams in one server, so someone must lose.
Yeah, and you mentioned the Carson on Pyro. On the other side, we have RJ on Pyro as well. So both teams are having a player who played combat classes, or at least hit skin classes, swap over to Pyro. RJ from Demoman and Carson from Heavy. And it's interesting because there's plenty of Pyro mains out there, but in the end, they decided to go with two players who can play Pyro very well, who just are more focused, who just have like more experience playing with combos. And I personally think that's good because you learn a lot more about the game not playing Pyro. Like, no offense to any Pyro mains out there, but the class is just so different compared to what a combo entirely needs. So I think RJ and Carson on Pyro is going to be an interesting thing to track. How well they deny Ubers, how they take flashes, how they choose to move around with their combos. So I think that's going to be a big part of which combo is going to be more successful tonight.
Oh yeah, and especially with RJ. I mean, Carson's no slouch, but RJ is famous for running like perma detonator, and he will no joke like fifth damage, sixth damage on the whole server. above some explosive classes. So if you're Nixie going up against RJ, you're just crying and malding, wishing you could ever take a shot without being on fire.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to track. And Watterson versus Blank on Sniper. Watterson's definitely more tenured, but Blank, to use your words, is no slouch as well. It's gonna be interesting to see which sniper's actually able to come out here on a map like Vigil, where there's a lot of nuance to playing Sniper on this map, where a lot of the space you can take is dependent on how your team is playing, what you try to do. I'll never forget, specifically on this map, offense Sniper, we had I don't remember how many seasons ago, but Weil was playing Sniper actually, and he just walks up onto second hill, quick scopes the defensive medic, drops them, and they roll through the round. We might see some aggressive play from that, from the likes of Watterson, who is used to that.
And real quick, I see I know the Wish team had been playing Blank on Sniper all weekend, but I see Nixie's back in the server here, so I'm not sure what's up there, but it looks like Nixie's in the game.
Is in the server, so we might be having Nixie instead of Blank. We have to check that sheet and change it, but if that's the case, that's also still a very good matchup. Nixie very tenured as well, and invite by this point. As we have only 45 seconds until the game is going live, and we've been having predictions running on your guys' chats. It's very close, 1.38 for Wishmode, 1.5 for MCM, so a lot of discourse about which team's actually going to end up winning this. Rogue, what's your prediction for tonight?
Ooh, don't make me choose. I can't choose.
It's a hard one.
This is like purely bias, but I pre-gamed against MCM and they were looking so hot on this map. They're just so fast, Zag. I'm gonna barely edge it out to MCM here, but I'm 51% sure. What about you?
Yeah, this is gonna be close. I think it goes 2-1 no matter what. Just for sake of diversity, I'll say it's gonna be Wish mode 2-1. Although you do know more about these teams because you've been playing and scrimming against them, so yeah, I take your word for it, but I'm just gonna go for the diversity's sake, guys. The ready up is through. We're gonna get started here. Week 2 is now underway. We're gonna be having Wish mode starting on red side defense, MCM starting on blue. We're gonna see how fast they are able to push. Like you said, they're very fast in scrims. We'll see if they can keep up that pace.
Yeah, and that's what we're always looking for on Vigil. It's like what is it, like a Jekyll and Hyde situation, right? Sometimes you can just roll through 2 points immediately without even blinking. Other times you can get stuck on second for like 9 minutes. You can get stuck on last for 10 minutes. You just won't even notice. So it's going to really come down, I think, to these, like, how fast can they go when they're given the opportunity and how quick can they break these holds where, like, they're not able to squeak it through the hole no matter how many times they try.
Yep, and right now we're seeing a pretty passive defensive setup from Wish mode. Normally, sometimes we do see heavies play forward on the rock, snipers swing out, maybe an aggressive sentry gun, but looks like they're just going to get their heals to their players up front. No crit stickies came out. Soldier is on Battalion's backup for Demento. He's going to charge that one up, and it's just going to be pretty much a safe back out here. No one's playing anything too crazy. They are going to try and deny the bomb into tunnel, though, which I do like. Adam is playing a bit further. He's playing forward, but not on the left rock. Now he's going to get out, yeah.
It's a funny point. You have to do something, but you can't do too much, I think. I mean, you can see here, like, we experimented with a few teams playing a little bit farther forward on defense, but now you can see the offense just clearing out the flank. Defense is keeping their gun alive, keeping their sniper alive, and watching out for Spy. The Spy has a bunch of wacky decloaks here as Evil lurks in the depths.
AGB. AGB gonna get caught out initially. Went for a pick on Cart. That may cost his team some information moving forward here. As the gun has been pulled, all the other players have backed up kill, and Cart's gonna get capped up here at 4x. This is gonna be a really fast timer because there was no contention at all, but for early season, you don't want to make any big risks. And Evil is now cloaking in, gonna call this defense position. We'll see how these teams want to end up doing these Uber trades.
A lot of times we see a sack coming from the offense here because Cart has to travel for a little while, but instead we opt for some hill pressure from MCM here while we move Cart up slowly but surely in the tunnel.
Yeah, Watterson ate a headshot there, so he has to back up heals. And meanwhile, we see MCM gonna pop out of front tunnel with a solo heavy Uber, trying to deny players. They do end up getting air blasted, don't get anything at all for their troubles. Oh, but the counter! RJ comes in and stuffs Carson on his stuff. That was pretty cool from MCM there. The bait and switch on the defensive pyro, and now they have a man-ad. They're gonna look to push forward out of the tunnel, get some damage down. Nixie ended up losing the SVS as well. Watterson got the heals and got that win. So now we see heavy on Cart taking up as the rest of the team is coming in. They're gonna take down Sand, but the gun is now under fire. It gets taken out. Hyphen as well gonna die, so he can't rebuild it. And now offense for MCM has sole control of the hill.
Wow, MCM put in a lot of work here in his show. Still more picks coming in. Watterson grabbing Joey Lemons, Draft grabbing Jacob. I mean, these late picks on defense, Zag, those are 20 seconds. For our folks back home, don't forget your respawn's much slower on defense, so MCM is primed to start spawn camping here already.
Yeah, and a 15% Uber ad as well for MCM and Bigsy. Gonna look to push up this hill, make this offense really snowball forward. Right now we just have Adam alone on the platform. Here's the stickies going up, and now we're gonna see bombs in from Demento trying to find some space. He does get out here wide and takes down Waterson with 2 clean rockets. Now the defense can take some space.
MCM opts to wait for the cart. This is a little bit unfortunate because they did have this Uber ad. And what I always hate to see, we always say the floor is lava and call that area lava on the floor. The high ground you get from the flank is just so much more powerful. And now Fixie has had this Uber for like 10 seconds, 11 seconds, 12 seconds, and we're still not using for MCM, so I'm not sure what they're doing other than letting their opponent set up, but...
They're having Waterson peek this angle. He's trying to find something. He misses a shot on Joey Lemon, so not going to find that one. RJ takes some damage on the cart, stopping from moving backwards, though, as now we're going to see flank movement here from the combo of MCM. They're moving everyone out here onto this right side and see if they can pressure forward Waterson, get some space.
Corral the defense, get a really nice angle for your sniper. Already Waterson grabs one. And now pretty soon we're going to be seeing the Uber come out. Any second now as Fixie gets brought down to half actually. Uber's exchanged. Joey Lemons and Wild both just stuffing each other inside the brackets. And actually MCM finishes a bit on the low ground, but the rest of their team is just so well positioned on flank. Yup, anyone who's not in that little platform gets churned on the Wish team, and they have no choice but to leave.
Yeah, Waterson followed up that pick on a scout with an SVS win again, which bought his team tons of space. MCM just funneled it in there, got all the kills, took all the space, and ended up capping that third point. 3:18-3 is a very fast pace. You mentioned those scrims being very in favor of MCM, and they're showing it in force here now. They're going to be even Ubers on this last push. They have a lot of time to make a decent time overall, and now they're just going to wait for the cart to push up as the medics finish building these.
Often we see a sack at a time like this, but I kind of like that MCM isn't going for the sacks. They're just grabbing cart and then taking the even fights because it's working.
Yeah, there's no real reason for them to sack here because they are on even Uber and the cart isn't up yet, so they're not really gaining much. Now that the cart is here and they have Uber, it's probably going to look to exchange. Looks like they want to walk up through this back cliff as is standard. They are just buffing players up in main, going to get them on cart. We actually don't know where they're going to take this because both meds do have Uber now. It looks like they're actually edging towards main right now. Maybe have Giraffe popping through main with a bomb from Etney. And here's the Uber coming out. We're going to see Scout take a flash, moving forward. Sticky or Pipes on the gun, but it gets kept alive. Good job there by Hyphen to keep that one up. And the first Uber gets nothing on this last push.
So MCM takes this Uber through, but they keep all their players out, ready to recommit. Great from the side of the Wish team, playing a little bit aggro, bringing Blake all the way back in, and trying to take some peeks. Now MCM going and wrapping all the way around to play the sniper and big door while the rest of their combo works the flank. See, this is drawing some eyes away from cart, so now their engineer gets to be on cart totally for free. The combo's getting some ground on the outside, and the sniper gets shot after shot. So
Evil gets caught out. He can't get the sapper on the gun. They were trying to get that taken down, like with some spam, but he's not able to get that one attached. And Waterson will end up going down to the sticky bomb. So more good defensive plays here to make sure they can hold stand.
It's just got a little strange. They didn't contest the flank at all, and MCM just kept getting deeper and deeper in the flank, and the Wish team just kind of let them have it after a while. But then MCM also got scared of having it, and MCM walked away too. So, you know, at least MCM has this kind of time. Now they're still doing something else, clearing out Red Room here.
Yeah, and they also want to Uber from Red Room. Here it is, solo duo onto the demo scout, gonna try and get something again, but Evo can't get the sapper once again. Gun's gonna get kept up, Hyphen gonna be able to keep that one healthy, and a second time the Uber gets absolutely nothing for MCM.
And Carson really keeping Evil on lock here. And I mean, when you're up against a player as good as Evil, all you have to do is just lock down that one guy, and your team's going to be very happy for it. I mean, MCM actually kind of crumbling here. I didn't do anything particularly wrong, but just didn't get enough damage out onto Wish mode.
We saw on the flank there, Adam and Wish actually combined for like 3 kills on that flank, shutting down the attack, so there's nothing to go. Waterson on this side is going to win that SVS onto Nixie. 20-second spawn timer for the defensive sniper. That is brutal. Every time you go down on defense here, it opens a big window for the offense to take advantage of. There's 10 seconds more. We'll have to see what they want to do. Both meds building Uber, but Bixie's actually 15% faster.
A big sack. Oh, Blake does go down. Blake holding in the old-fashioned aggressive angle here and pays the price as he drops to, or not drops, as he dies regularly to Giraffe and Etney, and a really nice bomb. You know, I was a little worried because Figsy had like 60% Uber, and like that's just too long to do nothing, but it's too short to really go for a sack. I mean, these guys got the sack, it was great, but you saw Figsy had to leave all the way out and come all the way back in, so that was enough time for Blake to have his 20-second respawn timer and come back already.
And here's the Uber out of Red Room once again. This time there's no Uber to counteract it. There is a Pyro though. Carson doing a decent job before he does get shot down by Weil in those front lines. Now the cart is being stacked up. Nixie pick onto RJ, but it's not going to be enough. They need a funnel out here. We see Wish Mode is stuck on their platform trying to get some damage in. There goes Adam and Joey to headshot bomb in from Etney doing a ton of damage. There's all the kills coming over. A wipe in favor of MCM. And there's the cart getting capped up in 6:55, 7 minutes. It's a bit slower if you look at their first 3-point time, right? This is not that good of a pace for what they set first 3 points. However, 7 minutes on Vigil is average. It's close to average. So it's definitely both teams have a chance to take this upcoming round.
Yeah, exactly. This is not bad. I mean, it's just like we talked about in pregame, right? They blazed through the first 3 caps in 3:18.
Yeah, 3:20.
And then the last cap took
their
like
time more than double
3:40
in 1 point. Yeah.
Yeah, just only to get last. So we'll have to see, you know, does Wish Mode get stuck on a single point and meet the same fate as MCM, or are they going to roll all the way through, or are they going to not cap second? You know, you can never tell on a map like this, right, Zag?
Yeah. Evil throwing in chat, this is a rough time to play Spy and Highlander. I totally feel him, but at that end there we saw the reason why that sack actually went off without a hitch, they got the medic, they got everyone, is because Evil actually found the sap onto the gun there, so maneuvered his way properly. Fourth life was the charm, he got that sapper on, and they made their snowball play to win the round there. So it's hard to do as a Spy player when everyone's checking for you and Vigil last is such a congestion point, but getting that sapper is so important for those plays.
They keep banging his head against the wall. What is it, like put a bunch of monkeys at a typewriter and eventually they'll write Shakespeare, right? So finally getting the sap off at the end of the day is all that matters.
And we are starting off this next round, 7 minutes for Wish Mode to push through 4. We'll see if they can take this round or if MCM is going to hold still.
MCM actually opting to do the more forward hold. You see they have Sand here on Pride Rock, and we have the rest of the team Giraffe putting stickies into main. The flank is cleared out in favor of
The
Wish
gun
Mode.
is also more aggressive. It's sitting on the point, and it is going to go down. Demento bombing in, it gets reflected, but gets the gun for his trouble. Meanwhile, Nixie actually winning the SBS into Weil is big. Weil, big spawn time. Wild's not the sniper anymore. He sniped down the scout, which is slightly less big than winning the SBS, but still a good pick. Going to force our defense to back up.
Yeah, I like that MCM was trying for it. You can see it's a little bit more risky, but at the same time, you know, they got their spawns and
yeah, the big
only
they lost their gun, but it is getting built up right now. It's gonna be level 3 with the next resup here from Spamfest, built up all the way, and we'll have to see where this offense decides to take things. Looks like their medic is posturing outside of ramp. They're gonna take this push up the hill.
Immediate exchange. Joey Lemon's using onto the hill right away. Fixie's saving Watterson and then bringing the rest of the MCM players forward onto this hill. So Nixie is just taking this hard scope. I like we took the trades down right away, but Evil grabs Blake in the push stupid.
That's big. Now the defense gets some free heals to try and make things work with Nixie getting sniped again. Carson getting piped down by Giraffe means numbers are getting cleaned up. Just a cart push, trying to get as far up as they can. They will all end up going down for the side of Wish Mode, but they got that cart pretty far up there. The big thing is now their med's going to be delayed about 40-50% because of that stat, but it's not the worst.
I kind of like that, yeah, Wish Mode took this Uber so soon. I mean, it didn't work on one hand, but on the other hand, they get another drop push right away. They even lost the med, they're already in Zag. Look
yeah,
at
and they're going to go.
grenade.
Yeah, Demoman spamming this gun and it will go down. RJ's gun not gonna, or RJ as well gonna die, and the cart stack was successful. Wow. They just got everyone on that point and got that capped up instantly. There are some spare players on defense here that need to get cleaned up, notably Heavy and Demo. We're gonna see Sand go down. It's just Demoman defending the point. Giraffe all alone, gets bombed on, and will end up dying. That is a clean wipe in favor of Wish Mode, and that dry pressure was everything for them.
Insane. That's the difference between top invite teams like this and a lot of other teams here in RGL.
Oh, Spy! Can he get it? Oh, he gets called. Good job by Blake telling his demo man to turn around. There's a spy on you. And now they actually have double explosive classes on this spawn door. There is nothing that MCM can do to get out of here in time. That's how you do a third snowball, and they're going to get this point for free.
I mean, all MCM has to do here is hold for 4 minutes on last. I mean, I still think we're all of it at the same time. Wish Mode held for 4 minutes on last, but losing Watterson immediately is not a great sign.
Yeah, I actually want to see the time. So it's 6:55. This is going to get capped up in about, what, 4:10? Around there, so that means the first 3 points is actually faster for the side of Wish Mode, despite them having 2 pushes on second. The waves that they end up pushing in were actually very, very good, so now they have full Uber and gonna be ready to make this last push work. Like you mentioned, 4 minutes to get it right.
Oh, Blake is losing his ad. Fixie on 85 now. Blake's been sitting here since she was 16.
Evil gonna go down before the push happens, and now Blake is actually pretty low. Might need to get a sandwich, might need to get some heals, but they are just gonna let the defense get this Uber here, make their push concise, make it all work out. There is no sentry gun, so that they have that going for them.
Man, I was just praising these high invite teams, but at the same time, they had add-on Figsy, and then they got 2 picks, and then they walked away and let it even out and let them get respawns. What the hell?
I can understand because the cart wasn't fully up now, but at this point they're wasting time. Now they're going to pop Uber in through the side door, get that level 2 gun taken down. Solo onto the Dome Man means he's trying to get any damage down, and the counter Uber is out. It's a much better Uber in favor of MCM, so they're going to push onto cart here, try and clear it, but there's actually no kills at all in that Uber chain. They just got the gun. And the kid re-engaged from Demento, trying to get some damage down. Big Z is dead, but so is Demento and Adam. Etney gonna get stabbed. Cart is being stacked now. It's all about the cleanup. Who can get these frags? But the high ground team is winning this one. MCM are cleaning up.
Yeah, you kind of need some sort of catalyst. You need a hero, that I like, is the way I like to put it, where Demento's like, all right, screw it. We're all sitting on the low ground. I'm just gonna go die. And then he does. He flies in. He actually gets the medic, but him just turning those eyes around in the first place allowed the rest of his team to walk in, go for some flank plays. They got a couple picks, got some cart time. It wasn't enough, but I'm not going to complain about a med pick, are you?
No, and now with Blake 80%, Figs only on 20. This is a massive ad in favor of Wish Mode. Nixie gonna lose that SVS, but it's fine. He has the fast spawns. He'll be up in time for this push if there's a teleporter there. And now the combo is stacking in this flank, the cliff side, for Wish Mode. Well, that's what they want to do. They're going to go through the window, the cliff door again. Well, it's only a mini sentry, going to get taken down as well as Water Send. They're stacking onto the card. The art Stickies take care of. Stickies get dead. Joey gets popped up. Revenge crits out from Spamfest. Going to get a kill into Adam, but they need more. More kills need to go for both sides. Etney is the next casualty. Demento winning the soldier versus soldier on the flank, and still very few players have actually died, but Blake in the backline going to get taken out by Evil. This time the MCM Spy finding that med pick. It's still chaos though, as Wish going to get that pick onto Sand before dying, and now things are finally starting to calm down. This time Figsy with a full Brad.
Dude, no joke, those revenge crits from Spamfest onto Adam, that was like 360 damage. I actually think that was the difference maker, because if 6 people on MCM had to focus Adam, it's over. But Spamfest dealing with Adam, the buffed heavy, all by herself, it's unbelievable what a difference it makes. So nice, MCM guessing he pulled in this with the ad on the just fringe hair of a difference.
Yeah, we do know how good Spamfest is at Engineer. Been playing that class longer than some people in our chat have been alive. And a dry push up here from from Wish Mode, trying to get some picks, see what they can do, try to force this Uber out, and they do end up getting that Uber. Cart as well gets to the very edge. They can't quite get it up the ramp. Will roll down. They got the Uber. That's what they wanted. Now Blake will have one more full Uber add to none here to try and make this push work. We're down to 1 minute on the clock though. Things are gonna get tight.
Yeah, exactly. On one hand, like Wish Mode did it, but on the other hand, to mount an entire winning push in 1 minute, it's a bit stressful, I think.
Yeah, the stress levels are definitely going to be high. We're going to see Wish Mode. They need to make this push work, or at the very minimum, they need to get a med pick in the push. Otherwise, they're going to be at a massive disad for their last desperation push.
Yeah, they're figuring it out. They went big door, and now they're coming through red room. They use right away on Demo Scout and Soldier jumping all the way through.
Oh, they got
great
Figsy
from MCM to rotate.
Yeah, and with that medic pick, they have what they need. Now they need to clean up kills. People stacking cart. Look at the back. Sand is flanking from the back. He gets a 4K. Gets tons of cart cleanup. Now this Pyro is here to air blast off the cart. We see at Wish Mode, they go down to only 2 players alive. That's disastrous for Wish Mode. That flank from Sand was absolutely massive, and they're going to keep this cart held. It is on the ledge, though. 14 seconds till it rolls back. It's going to be a desperation push. 15 seconds.
Yep, I have like 10 mentees I have to send this demo to. Watterson doesn't even care, just standing on the card anyway, blocking it out.
2 seconds from rolling back. They need to stop it. Someone needs to touch it. Oh, they get to it just in time. Sack 5 seconds. Who can get on the cart? Pyro would make a big difference here. Spy in 1 kill. AGB getting 1 Sand as well. 1 second. They're not going to get it in time, and that's MCM taking round 1 by the skin of their teeth.
Wow. Yeah, that is the difference maker here on Last Zag. Normally, when you take an Uber in and the enemy team has to run, that's not so bad. The problem is, when defense runs to the flank, they end up on the high ground and on the flank wraparound, you know? So when MCM ran away from the disad Uber, they were suddenly in a better position than they were in before. So that's why normally we recommend take these Ubers through flank. Don't let them get control of the flank. But yeah, when Wishmo gives MCM the flank, they're going to take it and run with it.
I can understand going through main fast if you have a full Uber like they did, because they got pressure in, they pushed MCM back into their spawn corner, and they picked Figsy too. So there are no heals. However, they need to make another play afterwards, like you said, to take control of that high ground, to make sure that MCM stay trapped in that corner, because if you give them any space to walk back on cart, they will take it. Sand coming through the flank was absolutely massive, the heavy getting behind them. Pyro comes in, RJ does a good job air blasting, and then in the end, MCM get that round on the board. Logs on your screen, but that was a crazy one.
Oh, we have a game on our hands, Zag. That's what we like to see, right? Watterson top fragging in the server, 14 picks. And that, by the way, shows you how much of a margin this is. Like, we've seen some has where like people get 20 frags, 30 frags. But no, top frag in this whole server was 14. I mean, medics were 1 death apart. I mean, the damage on both teams is pretty close. The number of kills is a little bit better for MCM, but what a close game.
Yeah, and you mentioned Waterston with that top frag, 14 kills, most in the server. On the other side, the least in the server among every class besides medics is Wild, the opposing sniper, at 4. I didn't see the SVS, but I'm guessing Waterston's winning that like massively. I'm gonna actually pull those logs up real quick if you have anything you want to bring up.
I'm way ahead of you. I got Waterston on 5 sniper picks versus Nixie's 1.
Yeah, that is brutal.
Especially in a game of like, even at the last second, I was already talking like the round was over before before Wishwood had their salvage. But it was so close, Zag. Like, it's one of those things like one play, one pick, one damage could have made all the difference. But when you're getting diffed this hard, I guess, where, you know, the other player on your class has more than triple your KD, I think that's going to be a little bit of a point of not pressure or tension, but it's a spot that they're going to have to shore up for sure in the next half. And maybe it's part of RJ on that detonator, like I mentioned, but at the same time, maybe Nixie is a little cold after not playing all weekend. I could say Waterston's very hot. I mean, I voted for MCM, or not predicted for MCM, partly because Waterston was like walking in front of his team to quick scope headshot me in front of my 8 players. So I'm very impressed. He's doing really well.
Yeah, and in addition to Waterston's 5 sniper picks, we see Evil with 4. Meanwhile, AGB only has 1 sniper pick. So pick classes onto the enemy sniper are 9-2 right now in favor of MCM. That's really, like, we can say that Nixie didn't have a good half. He just got bullied by pick classes. Like, that's mainly what it was. He got camped by Spy. He wasn't finding the SVS angles he wanted, and it was just a bit unfortunate for him altogether. And while Sniper is an important class, there are ways your team can play around it on Vigil. You know, the Sniper can't dominate the game entirely like he can on, say, a Product. And we did see, even though there was that massive gap in Sniper frags, the round was still incredibly close. There was so many things going on. Both teams could have won that round if, you know, one thing went slightly different at any point. It's just interesting to track what's actually going through these rounds. It's no one player's fault, as always. You know, it's Highlander. There's 9 players that everyone needs to do their jobs, but it's just there's so much to keep track of here in such a close match.
Exactly. We talk about these logs, and obviously these players are great or not great in their own respects. I was just kidding. All respect on everyone here, but it's much more of a team game, especially now. I mean, we saw like some of these plays, you know, they were so fast every time, and when you watch it, it's like watching artwork being painted right in front of your very eyes, you know, with how well they're coordinating, like who's peeking in when and from what door and at what time and things like that. Who are we focusing? What are we doing next? It's incredible from both of these teams. So it comes much more down to like people like Giraffe and Sand to be like, here's what we're doing. To people like Adam to say, no, here's our play, and go in together as a team. Like, that's the big difference maker. I mean, we mentioned Jacob was kind of like a hero opening up last point for them, or players like Evil getting these crazy picks, Spamfest holding it down like crazy. I mean, all of these players creating opportunities for the rest of their team. But the problem is that an opportunity is just an opportunity. You have to seize it.
Yeah, and a lot of players doing a lot to try and seize that opportunity. I do want to point out, like, you can look at logs all you want and be like, oh, this is what's happening. You have to look at them in context. For instance, like, Joey Lemons has, what, 4 less frags than Giraffe, but he has more DPM. So, like, what's happening in these trades that's having Giraffe beat cleanup? Well, we see Weil is getting a lot of, like, Weil has 13 kills, 7 of them are on Spy. So he's not actually getting combo cleanup. That's Giraffe getting the combo cleanup in these exchanges. It's just different things happening. Meanwhile, for the other scout, we see Wish. He has a bunch of kills onto Heavy. So Wish is getting the cleanup for his combo. It's just these small, you know, nuances that are happening for each combo that makes you interested, like, who's actually doing what in these fights? Who needs to be doing more for their roles? Who's being tasked with responsibility? Who has more of a free role?
So coming into this next half, and I'll ask you because I have no idea how to answer this question myself, but coming into this next half, what kind of changes do you think we'll see? What do you think is going to happen in the first place?
I think it's really interesting. I have no clue. I can guess, right? Because both teams, if we look at what happened in these maps, both teams rolled through second pretty easily. They got a snowball working on third, you know, even though one was a complete snowball and one was just positioning for the next push. Both teams have had a very easy, if not, you know, good time pushing through the first 3 points. It's these last points that are stalling them up, you know, taking them a couple tries to get working. I think we're going to see a lot more focus on the last points, like where teams they know what they can do on second. They know that it's hard to adapt to the second pushes if you're just not in position. It's early in the season, so counterplay is maybe not fully like thought up yet. I think we're going to see a lot more strategies being tried on last. Who should go into like flank, like you mentioned, if you should Uber through that flank side, if you should send different people onto cart. So I really want to look and see how these teams are going to break that 4-minute barrier on last, because 4 minutes to cap a single point, there's a lot of improvement that can be made there.
Yeah, I don't know how to. I've been preaching for years now, probably. Yeah, I guess exactly too. But this map is so deceptive because to push second, you're really kind of stuck on the low ground. To push third, going tracks, you're stuck on the low ground. To push last tracks, you're on the low. So you have to control the flanks. Like you cannot do anything on this map without controlling the flanks. So people just think going main is the main thing to do, but I think getting the high ground, like we discussed on last, the flank is such the better position. It's so much high ground. It gives you a lot of opportunity, draws eyes away from card. Same thing on third and second. So I'm hoping to see these teams, keep playing rigid, play for the high ground as we get into this next half.
Yep, ready up is through. We're going to be starting up half 2, Wish Mode on offense, MCM on defense. We'll be doing a little repeat of what we just had. We'll see if that one comes down to, a desperation push. We don't have a timer on the board, so it's going to be nice to see how Wish Mode ends up setting their time, if they can beat what they previously had and get it across the finish line.
Yeah, I'm really both of these teams, not that they got lucky, obviously they earned all of these plays that they made, but they happened, I'd say, to get an opportunity to push all the way in. I mean, I think both times neither team really held third, right? Yeah, they were like kind of shoved back. I mean, there was a little bit of a third defense in the first round in the first half, but other than that, I think if one team gets held up a little bit on one of these points, then suddenly we have a very different amount of time on the clock.
Yeah, the game could go entirely different. We don't know. And for this time, we do have crit stickies on defense here for MCM. They're put in flank for the most part, and one of them is completely visible to the offense, so I doubt this trap will kill anyone. If it does, they're just not paying attention. As Annie is spamming. Okay, Joey, don't do it. He actually, wait, I didn't notice. Sand was just cheesing and spawn, and he picks off Joey and Carson. That's honestly fine, because your spawn timer on defense isn't that long. You're just kind of padding your stats. There's nothing wrong. It's stat padding is what it is. Like, let's not, kid ourselves here. It's still funny to see, though.
You look at this, Spamfest has a little teleporter for herself to get out with the gun. Yeah, the gun goes down, Spamfest teleports out with their own teleporter in their own tunnel.
Oh, they're chasing down to tunnel. We see MCM taking the tunnel back out instead of the hill back out. And there are players over the top. We're seeing a soldier trying to find what he can. Will not end up finding that angle for Demento. And now we're just going to be back up to second as usual. AGB is in behind. We'll have to see what he wants to try go for here. Whether he thinks he can get this heavy pick, maybe a gun sap. But we'll have to see. We did see Wish Mode. They traded fast, so AGB's probably just going to go for a fast sap here.
Yeah, let's see. Blake poised with the rest of the team in tunnel here. I don't like that they're sitting here a little while. Yeah, they decided to rotate out to hill, it looks like.
They just want to get the card far enough, and now they're going to trade over the side. AGB not going for the sap, instead they're just bombing in, trying to get the counter Uber out, and they do get that Uber, so it's just a no damage trade going off on the hill. No one's gone down, they just want to get those Ubers off. Normally when teams do this, we see them immediately repush through somewhere like side tunnel.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised, but at the same time, I'm not upset. Ooh, the banner, though, that's a very big difference maker.
Yeah, we have to see a defensive banner coming out here for Etney, popping that one out. I don't know if Demento has his, I don't think he does. And Sapper on AGB goes up, but it gets home record by RJ, that's unique. Gun gonna go down anyway, though, as Spamfest also goes down. Now we see Cart collapse in here from Wish Mode. They have a ton of people on it. Pig class is going ham, though. Evil and Giraffe gonna get taken out, as well as Figsy, Nixie, finding that headshot, getting into the game on this one. They're gonna clean up these last players on the second point, keep their medic alive, and get it capped up. So once again, amazing dry push from the side of Wish Mode to get this capped up.
I was joking before. I have a lot of people to send this demo to after the game, but I'm gonna send this to myself. I have to write that down after you exchange on second, just 9-man out through cart, just against Swiftwater last. It's a really famous, excellent play. But
another pick. Figsy going down to another pick class, going down to AGB this time. So now another advantage extending for the side of Wish Mode. They can get this cart up to the bend and have their push take and eat it 2 situation here.
Yeah, I mean, Spire picking the medic, all right, that's pretty good. But in the middle of 6 players, all right, AGB, we're all, that's just showing off, right? Very impressive, really well done.
Yeah, and here's the Uber trade coming around the corner, trying to get wherever they can, but we see RJ doing a good job denying this. Giraffe and Wild will go down, though, as well as RJ getting chased down. That's a combo wipe instantly for the side of Wishmode. They're gonna get Evil as well, and Waterston on the cleanup. That's 7 kills for none in favor of Wishmode, capping that one up in 2:42. That's about as fast as their first round time, and now they have players in the spawn shutter. Joey Lemon's trying to get his team some time, buying the time. This is a longer spawn than in previous versions, though. We'll have to see if he can actually hold this. There's AGB picking Etney, so no banner, and there's the sticky trap from Joey getting a 4K.
Uh-oh. Is it okay if I cry, Zach? I'm not even in the server, but I think that hit me so emotionally.
Oh, but there's Blake getting chased by Wild. The new sniper switch scout hits those meat shots like they were sniper rifle bullets, takes down the enemy medic, so there is space for MCM now.
A Giraffe just dunked Jacob on the top of his head and Demento craters into the floor. Giraffe just did like 145 damage with one pipe, damn, but somehow MCM was coming back into this. I actually haven't really seen a spawn camp on this new version of Vigil, where for our fans, of course, Vigil used to be a little bit more forward with the spawn door, so it was easier to spawn camp, but already sacking.
Joey got reflected by RJ. Fantastic job by that defensive pyro there to deny that threat. Nixie, though, getting a pick to work with. Evil as well going down, so no pick classes here for MCM. They are going to Uber out into cart. They were forced to Uber to keep their players alive. That's a very good sack in from the side of Wishmode, and now they're going to have an Uber out.
Wish goes Wish mode, grabs just runs in a straight line and fakes in that post Uber. MCM did the right thing trying to get aggressive, but it was just too much. They were down too many players and down flank control.
RJ can't get the air blast. It gets up the hill. They're stacking this one. Carson will get taken down, but they can't get anyone out there in time. And there's the cap from over 416. Now that is a blazing Vigil time out of Wish mode.
Yeah, we love to see. They never really got stuck. I mean, what was it? Second, almost went according to plan. They're like, let's get the Ubers off the board and then just push the cart, and it worked. Same thing on third. I mean, well, they got to spawn camp. Even on last, MCM had a nice, like, MCM, no joke, bought like a minute on the clock on last, but it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, it felt like they just got snowballed through and through. We saw so many picks go in favor of Wish mode. We saw the sticky trap, the snipe shots. We saw AGB actually get 2 backstabs and live. One onto Giraffe, so they couldn't set up any defensive stickies, and they just all those kills coming over. That was flawless play from Wish mode. You almost can't get a better Vigil round than that.
Whew, damn, I'm excited, man. I can't believe what a game we're seeing here. I knew it wasn't going to be a blowout either way, but it's a little different. Sometimes you see matches like this, it's a little boring or it's very textbook, but these teams are playing so fast. They're coming in so hot to these plays. They're so smart and calculated. And also, all these players, like most of the cores of both teams, have been playing together for like a year and a half now. Like MCM has been most of the same core for 2 years. This team, the Wish team, you know, Adam, Wish, AGB, Joey Lemons, again, a year and a half or a little more even. So it's showing. You can see how much coordination and chemistry these teams have.
Yep, now round gates have dropped on this new round. Only 4 minutes and 10 seconds left for MCM to turn this one on its head. We'll have to see if they can do this. Normally, whenever the time is this favorable for the defense, we see them take like a safer stance. And right now, they don't have anyone up further than the tunnel here except their flank who can get out of there easily. They're playing to just keep this time, hold what they can, and make sure they get this round to tie us up.
Yeah, really all you have to do is not make a mistake, which is a lot to say. I mean,
not make a catastrophic mistake.
Yeah, what are we all but piles of mistakes with heartbeats, Zag? But they have to just make as few mistakes as possible, you know, just let the time run out and let the sands of time wither us away. That's all we can ask for.
Yep. We actually see a Beggar's Bazooka out here from Etney. I want to see if he wants to go over the top and try and, you know, one rocket burst a medic. That'll be interesting to see if he can do. He won't get a chance though. Oh, Spamfest and Drop going down to those stickies and Evil as well. That's disastrous for MCM because they need to fast trade here. They don't have time.
Yeah, take a page out of Wishmode's book. I mean, they just used right away and then won the post. MCM here, like, waiting to have the perfect Uber. But
you got
to the Beggars.
Yeah, to the Beggars.
Yeah, the Beggars Bazooka. What a throwback.
Yeah, and now they have their players. They're going to look to push out of tunnel here. Pop this Uber. Good air blast there from Carson to keep the heavy away from the gun. And they're not finding anything at all with this. They don't get even the gun or the dispenser, which was getting focused. So now, Blake, full Uber ad. They just pop onto cart. The time will be overwhelmingly in their favor. Evil might need to find something here. He's trying to go in. A medic pick would be game-saving for his team. But they protected very thoroughly, and not getting that Uber out is disastrous. Evil gonna get seen, bomb in over the top, and he can't find it. They are sacking onto cart. There should be a free Uber. They don't even need to. They're all getting mulched by the sentry gun and the hit scan. MCM dropping one by one there. Waterston going for the wild shot, can't find it. Will end up going down, and still Blake with 100% Uber this round is pretty much as good as done.
Yep, as soon as they didn't get that force, like as soon as the offense used without the defense countering, it was over. Like we talked about what margins we're working with. I mean, number one, the positioning from Wish Mode is so strong, and then Blake, so calm, so sure, so handsome, right? Not to use the super. And there's a little bit of salvaging here.
What a save! He actually got the shot. He got the drop. Now we're going to see the offense flood out here. I can respect the shot. However, the time might be too dire. They have 1:50. It's barely possible if they times 3 it, but they're nowhere close. Even with that highlight shot, it's not going to matter at all.
Yeah, listen, if I can't hurt him on the scoreboard, I'll hurt him off the server, right, Zach?
Yeah, the logs say he dropped Uber. That's all that matters here.
Exactly.
Yeah, and now offense coming out here. Defense actually has spawn, so they're going to try and defend this with all they've got, just sacking onto card. The offense is in desperation mode right now for MCM, so however they can. Revenge crits from Hyphen, taking a page out of the Spamfest book and taking down Spamfest with it. That's a 5 kill streak for Hyphen, and now with a minute on the clock, it is mathematically impossible for the card to get pushed all the way to third and capped.
Hey, and I'll be right back. I'm asking Watterson to sign my sniper rifle.
Yeah, and this is just stat pad time for the teams. Like I've said, it's impossible for them to win, so we're going to see players taking whatever ones they can. That was a statement round there from Wish Mode. Absolute statement there to just cap in under 420. You know, haha, funny meme, but that's such a blazing time for Vigil. And then on defense to make a stand like that, there's just nothing there that MCM could have done.
Exactly. I mean, even when, like, this is kind of those margins, Zag, where, like, even getting first, like, 10 or 15 seconds slower makes a difference, you know? That's what we're working with here. These teams are so good. I mean, especially, I think what's important to me in this round, too, is, like, Nixie got a feel-good round, you know? Like, okay, we still got it, you know, we're still doing fine. So it kind of takes that weight off your shoulders, you know. Sniper mains, no offense to our friends in chat, but they're very emotional, they're very sensitive, right? So sometimes snipers get in their own head or they have a hard time having the type of impact they're used to having. So I think this is really important for Nixie, and especially important for Wish Mode to come into this next round. Like, MCM came in so hot, they're so well prepared, they did great, but now the momentum is for Wish Mode.
Yeah, and momentum is a crucial thing in all games. You know, when that team gets on a hot streak, all their strats are working. Not only are they feeling it in game, they're feeling it in everyone's heads. They know that they have what it takes to close out these rounds as timer expires. So we are tied up 1-1 here, going into a third and final half. Logs are going to be up in your screen in a second. But the logs, they don't really matter. We just need to see how Wish Mode, like, you just need to look at how Wish Mode played so flawlessly through second to trade Ubers, get their repush out, get all the kills they needed to, get forward on third, get the spawn camps they could have, make a push work, and then get their push on fourth. It was just a sight to behold there how good Wish Mode did. And this time, MCM, you know, the onus is on them to make a change. What happened there that just let them get snowballed so easily? That needs to change.
Yeah, I know the folks at home can't sort the logs on your screen with by kills. I know you can't put your grubby little greasy fingers on your monitor screens and click by the kill letter on the display on our stream here, but the entire team for Wish Mode is above the entire team of MCM in frags, except for Blake and Figsy.
Insane. So. Nobody on Wish Mode or nobody on MCM outfragged anybody on Wish Mode. That is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it was a team diff and not a killed. It's not like, oh, we can point to this guy didn't do well enough, that person did too well, or anything like that. I mean, Wish Mode to go 16-2.
Yeah.
16-2, top damage in the server, top frag in the server, top KD in the server, KAD of 10, Zag. I mean, that's nuts. So Wish went Wish Mode. I mean, thank God we're paying him the big bucks. You know, what are we going to name the team after someone other than Wish? That'd be crazy. But still, I think this came down to, like, the team play. They did such a good job on offense, and on defense, all they had to do was just hold.
Yeah, it's just a masterclass there in team play on Vigil. They got everything they needed, and there's not really much else to say from that. We can point at logs, you know, have a good time. You mentioned the feel good round for Nixie. He's 9-2. Watterson this time getting put into the dirt a bit, 2-9. So those scorelines kind of inverted. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Like, we've seen both teams win their rounds at this point, right? So we know that it's very possible for either team to take this final round. It's just a matter of, will MCM let the momentum affect them? Will Wish Mode come out as strong as they did, you know, warmed up, their strats are working? We just need to see what adjustments are made.
And also, to be honest, when you have, like, a really close, intense game and you just barely lose, that honestly, does a lot more damage to your mental than a kind of a blowout like this. Like they didn't even get second, or maybe they just got second. I don't know. But obviously MCM wasn't in this round at the end of it there. So if you are MCM, you straight up like shrug this off. You say like, you know what? They got a really good time. We did a really good time the first time, so let's leave it all in the ring. Leave it all up to the last round. I mean, hopefully MCM is saying that. I mean, they call me mental diff. You know, when I'm walking down the streets, they're like, hey, is that mental diff the Rogue Runner? So hopefully they have someone in their mumble taking that responsibility. But the point is, you're not going to get that upset. Like you already knew you had to play literally perfect. So I think MCM is still like coming in hot to this last round at least.
Yeah, you can't definitively say like, you know, one win or one loss, like way to do it is better or worse for mental, because it's based on like what the players think. And you know, a bit of a secret, some Highlander players, I'm not saying who, or if it's anyone specifically in the server, some Highlander players might get a bit tilted when things don't go their way. You know, there are some people notorious for bad mentals, but either way, both these teams are top level teams. They've, you know, been in more championships than pretty much any other like group of players in Highlander right now. So I'm sure they'll be fine, right? Like you mentioned, you shrug this one off. I guarantee you that's what they're saying. They're like, fluke round, we had to give them one, you know?
Yeah, pay respect to the homies. You know, you can't come on, take one look at Blake and say you're not going to give him just one round.
Yeah, that's their gift, their freebie. So in MCM's mind, that's what they're saying. If you're wish mode here, you're saying, guys, we do that again. Like, come on, that was easy. We beat these guys every day. That's what you're saying for wish mode.
Yeah, I don't know. I think both of these teams are like still so confident. I think it is MCM that's more with their backs against the wall, because MCM had like a lot of changes. I mean, for wish mode, they still have the same demo and heavy. I mean, Carson is a returning player. Like no one's really new on this team except Blake, who's the best medic in Highlander. So you don't have that many like new faces, but on MCM, you know, Figsy is a new addition, Spamfest a new addition, Xan a new addition, Draft a new addition, RJ on Pyro, so we go all the way down, right? So I think MCM had to like win this really fast, otherwise they're going to be in trouble. It's almost like the match we saw last week where it was Yee, my team, versus Somebody Help. And the thing is, Yee came in really hot, but Somebody Help had so much chemistry and coordination and so many years under their belt playing together that they adapted. Right, so I think wish mode has a better ability to adapt because they all know each other better. MCM doesn't have that same luxury.
Yeah, these early season matches can be like that. We'll have to see if that continues to be the case, or if MCM's experience can get them back into this one. We do have one ready up, and word that will be starting in 10 seconds. So last round, everyone, week 2 going to come down to a sudden death round 1-1 right now. Keep in mind, both these teams are favorites in the season. We're looking at them as a likely 1-2, so a win here would mean a lot for final playoff seeding.
I'm honestly a little bit scared of what's going to happen here. Like, I don't think I'm ready. Like, if suddenly they blaze through into last, or if they get hard held on second, either way, I'm terrified, Zag.
Yeah, anything could happen here. And we do have MCM starting out on offense. I think that's good for them because, you know, they basically didn't play last offense. They had to just employ a bunch of random strategies to try and make up the time difference. So in their mind, this is clean slate. They don't have to go back on defense and worry about getting 4-minute again, right? Like, they can play their game. They're back to round 1 here, and I think that's good for them. We'll have to see if wish mode, you know, they're not too rusty on 3rd and 4th, seeing as they didn't even see them. See if they can, you know, keep MCM to that 7-minute time would be ideal if you're wish mode.
Yeah, and for our folks at home who might have seen some of the Ubers and some more of the logs, the classic new update where Figsies use a couple of Ubers in spawn, but Blake hasn't. So that explains some of the discrepancies that many have noted. But I do like that. Yeah, wish mode is just playing this passive hold. I'm like, I would rather win on second than win on first. So I actually love this passive hold after trying both.
I didn't see where Joey Lemons put his sticky trap. I don't see it anywhere on the spawn doors. I don't know if he still has it, but either way, we're see the similar hold, you know, heavy in front of tunnel. Oh, I see the stickies now. They're inside of the first point. That's pretty cheeky if the cart gets there without it getting checked. I do know a lot of teams check for that, so we'll have to see if it actually ends up catching MCM by surprise. Namento trying to build up that banner a bit, get some spam damage onto Giraffe. Gets a decent amount, but they want to back up. Evil went off the cliff, so they're allowing him in chat. You guys can do it too in chat. I'm sure you'd appreciate it. As now the trap We'll see. Will it be sprung on many people? It does get spotted by Sand. He finds that one, so nothing going there.
Can't get anything past him. It was one guy out of 9, to be fair. But that's why you do it in the last round. Like, if they try it in the first round, they're ready for whatever you got for them, right, Zach? But in the last round, they know you're not going for it yet, right?
Yep, and now we're going to see what does MCM want to do with this Uber. Wish is currently on a respawn timer, so they're going to be waiting for him. Sticky's above the exit of main tunnel. Sand walking forward. There's a spy. He gets the sap, and there's the dead on the trap. Sand gets popped Uber too late. They will end up losing their heavy, and the gun stays wrangled. Good plays there by the defense for Wish mode to keep that gun alive and waste the offensive Uber entirely.
Full ad for the side of the defense here. Wish peeking a little bit deeper into the hill. Jacob pushing a little bit deeper in the side tunnel. And I mean, all that's left is main, but Carson is blasting everything that Giraffe has. So a lot of movement going on here, but the defense is kind of has an eye on each of these different doorways.
I heard a battalion's banner go off. I don't see who's actually holding it, as we are into a pause right now. So it wouldn't be Highlander without a pause. Keep in mind, every week we have to have one. Had one last week, have one this week. This is just par for the course. And I do see now Demento is actually one holding this banner. So defense going to be looking to pop this one. And I think this is amazing timing for his banner, by the way. Because when the offense wastes their Uber, you know they're about to sack in. They want to get your Uber off while their medic is building theirs back to full. So if Demento lets this banner go right as the sack comes in, Blake might even be able to save it.
I'm very curious what kind of sack we're going to see, because yeah, it has to be something, and it has to be now, because Figsy is already on 50. So by the time the team gets buffed, gets in position to sack, goes, dies, respawns, it has to. We're running out of time already. Even though we're paused, like every millisecond basically that they spend not sacking is helping out the defense get more time. But the off Uber push from Wish mode on offense second was so strong. They just said, we don't even think. We go through main, we get the cap. That's it. Do not pass go, do not collect 200. For MCM, I'm not sure if they have the exact same, like, we already know where we're going. We already did it. We're already doing it. Because like I mentioned, there's some of this new combo. We already mentioned Giraffe is a new caller for this team. You know, that's a big difference to make. So I hope MCM goes right away, but I don't even know what they're going to come up with.
One of the big problems is you're never hoping to push into Vigil second down like an entire Uber, right? Like when you trade Uber, you're hoping you at least get the defensive medics out. At best, you get the sentry gun, maybe you get a pick, right? To get nothing is just kind of disastrous for your comms. Like you have to reach into the playbook now. Like, what is our goal when we're already down like this? And normally it's just sack and try to get the force. So you mentioned they should go for early. What they need to do is they need to get this medic force out and then get their Uber up when their spawners come. That's how they save the maximum potential time from, you know, how badly that first push went for MCM. As it looks like we have the unpauses coming in right now. Demento still holding this banner. We'll have to see where MCM wants to go. Looks like they're funneling everyone through the tunnel. Here comes the classic cart stack. We'll have to see what goes on. Gun sap gets denied by an air blast, and there's the banner. Evil gonna go down. It's a mulch factory right now. Everyone's getting cleaned up instantly. That was phenomenal from the side of Wish mode. The air blast to deny the sap, and then the banner coming out right away. That was perfect.
Jesus Christ. I know people at home, you might look at that and say it didn't work, but no. The one thing that I said right away is MCM has to go now.
That was they had amazing defensive play.
Yeah, and also the banner was such a big difference maker out of Jacob. So everyone, I think, did the right thing. Like the offense did the right play and the defense did the right play, but defense had the advantage. So we equalize.
Yep, and now Figsy is up on the 100% Uber. This is the push that needs to work for MCM. Evil down early again. No Sapper can be able to come through. Waterson's peeking wide, but RJ and Waterson have gone down, as has Weil. It's already a disaster. Defensive Uber is out. They're going to be able to hurdle Giraffe into the front lines. He'll die. Etney will die. That's another disastrous push for the side of MCM.
Ooh, Demento getting a little bit cheeky there. He actually might have given up a saw. I think Figsy did get a saw because...
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, there it is. So we have 30% versus 55% here for offense versus defense versus offense. Hopefully we see another play here.
Yeah, Demento is a spy player, no stranger to giving up saws, but that one might be big. It might come back to haunt them because 25% ad is maintained here for Figsy. Going to be on 80 while Blake is only just hitting 60. So if MCM know this, they can push out here and get this Uber advantage push.
Huge pressure coming out of main. Ooh, but they get a little scared, and now they muster their courage. RJ leading the way, actually. Eddie going all the way behind onto the engineer, but ooh, so many crits coming out of Hyphen. Why? There's so many revenge crits here. I mean, that was honestly
Blake
enough
has to get out. Blake has to move out to get that Uber in time, and they do get it. So they're going to repop onto the point now, trying to get the players off the cart here for MCM. They are cleaning up, though. A lot of frags coming in for MCM. Nixie, AGB, Carson, all going to drop. Just a level 1 sentry gun defending the cart. Heavy easily taking that one out. And that is a point. It's so rare to say this. That is a point that is single-handedly lost by a Saw going over to the enemy medic. If Blake had that Uber a bit sooner, right, and Figsy didn't get that boost, that 25% boost, Wishmode would have been able to stay forward, keep their space, and contest. But Demento's mistake there actually cost them.
Yeah, I think Demento made like a good play, but Figsy made a better one, basically. Like, Demento took a risk, and it was a gamble, and it went against him, and now his whole team is here on third. I mean, the Ubers are pretty even. I mean, the 15% difference, that's not too big. But I love how Wishmode is playing this flank here. I mean, look at how much regression they have on the high ground. That's what we're talking about, Zag. The floor is lava. Don't go on the cart path, but this flank, and that's where the money's at.
Yeah, AGB getting a pick onto Evil, counter espionage working out for them. As now Uber forced out by Giraffe, looking at an opening pick onto Wish here. Thanks to that headshot, they find the Heavy hiding in the cubby as well. Gonna be able to clean up Adam here. Goes down to the hamstring, and now the gun is the focus. Nixie gonna die as well. Waterson hitting all those frags. They get the gun out in time, but counter Uber's out. We'll have to see what Wishmore can do with only 4 players. Looks like not much. They're gonna have to get back up to spawn. Demento looking for Waterson, not able to find him. Will go down late, and that's a snowball from third, perfectly from MCM. All of a sudden, that second push looking very good for MCM.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of Blake and Carson to use that Uber to stop the cart cap, but it was just kind of too little too late, you know? Like, they already were down so many, and it wasn't like they were going to get in spawns anytime soon. The set coming in really quick, Etney and Watterson going down. I mean, they found AGB, that's not so bad. Wish and Joey Lemons are still dead, so no traps, but actually RJ is all the way in. Wait a second, Demento has no idea what the hell is happening here. Evil trying to be too much for Z-Block and Bunny Hop all over the goddamn place, but we're equalizing here a little bit as offense is collecting themselves on the low ground, getting some cart time, defense setting up that gun.
Ooh, Waterson's big pick onto Joey Lemons. No defensive Doman, and Figsy still on Uber advantage. We'll have to see if they want to try and go off that while the Doman is down. I don't know if they know that they have this Uber ad, though. It doesn't look like they do, since they're not posturing too aggressively. Looks like they are stacking up in Red Room. Gonna try and go, but Blake's already 95. So, okay, wow, that's a bit too early. Went without an Uber. Evil, though, with a big 2K onto Hyphen and Carson. That's no engineer and no pyro, so now they get to walk forward into spawn with nothing inhibiting them. RJ spawn camping onto Nixie. Cart is getting pushed up this hill, and MCM are going to cap this one up unless Joey Lemons has anything to say about it. On Cart, gets sawed again by Figsy, but this time Figsy can't get away. The spawners are up. It's 3 men up for Wishmode right now, trying to clean up Evil. They do have spawn advantage, so they'll hold for now, but the respawners are in. We see Etney and Waterson peeking in through main. The defense is stabilizing, though. They'll hold this one for now.
This is what we've been waiting for, Zach. This is like, that was such chaos. I mean, we saw Blake use on his sniper when they were down like 5 players. I don't know what was happening, but this kind of chaos is what the people are here for. It's all for the fans. There's so many players coming out of main and out of Red Room. I mean, they're getting mulched, but they're going right away. They're going for some kind of a play. And Wishmo just pushing all the way up on their like close side. They're saying, we don't care if you get flanked or not, we're holding the cart. Stop here. We're stopping the cart now. No sacks can come in because we're stuffing the door already. No one can even jump us. So they're leaving it all in the ring here, Zag, and even Jacob going and doing a little bit more.
Yeah, he gets in on Waterson, gets that pick. He does have a long spawn timer, but the pick onto Waterson will buy them some space. And meanwhile, they're trying to dry stack on cart for MCM, get that cart as far up as they can. That's a good play. Figsy is up on 100% Uber, so now they'll be able to get this push off. You want the cart to be as close as possible because it's very difficult to get that thing up the ramp and capped up since the defense has priority over it. So I can respect the play, and now we'll see a trade come out.
I'm trying to think of how to explain my like probability understanding of MCM's plays there, but I feel like they would have won 1 out of those 3 plays. And they made 3 plays with 1 out of 3 odds, and they all didn't work. So now MCM has burned a lot of time. Like this, like going from 6.5 to 7.5 minutes is huge.
Waterson's peeking the sniper angle on Cliff. He gets spammed out by some sticky bombs, and now the Uber is coming in through the Cliff door, trying to trade onto the gun, gets kept up for a long time, but will go down. Evil, a pick onto Carson is going to help this post Uber immensely. The rest of MCM is trying to push their way into flank, but Demento is denying. Wish going Wish mode once again, picks onto Evil, and while a 7k for the Wish mode scout, there's Nixie cross-pointing Etney in the head, will take him down, and now the flank fight has to go backwards. MCM don't have any players left with health to contest this, and another solid defensive hold there from Wish mode.
With this failure of a push, it went from a long time to an eternity, basically, that this defense has lasted for. I love the trap, by the way. Joey Lemons has a main with like a ball of stickies. You can even see it from me.
Pop it. You actually tell him to pop it. You don't. Yes, thank you. Okay, I was so tilted for a second. It looked like he wanted to steal the kill for himself. Okay, Spamfest put up an aggressive level 2 gun, got taken down. That's a bit too far forward when you don't have the push ready to go yet. Now both meds are up on Evil. We'll have to see who trades first. Heavy taking a lot of damage. Commoners get healed up here. Now MCM looks like they want to take this one through main.
Big Uber exchange. Look at Wishmore and Blake coming all the way in, though. They're meeting the office. They don't let them get any ground. Like, they don't let them get flanked. They don't let them get cart. They don't let them get anything. By going and meeting them, you don't have to prevent the damage because there's no damage happening. You just shut them out of the map.
Yep, and very solid defense once again from Wish mode. I feel like I'm saying that on repeat here on last, but it's true. They just keep getting these holds, and this is the same place that we saw MCM struggle on their first offense. It took them 4 minutes to get this point. We're getting close to that 4 minutes, and if they're not able to get this anytime soon, the time is going to stretch into improbable holding range. So they need to make a push work sometime here.
I don't know, man. I think this is really what we were talking about with, like, there's so much chemistry on both of these teams, but a lot more in terms of Wish mode. I think MCM has so many new faces and new players that they're getting 90% of the way there, 95% of the way there, but they can't quite seal the deal. Like, even now, look at the defense, you know?
Now Combo's moving into flank for MCM. They want to try and go up and take this high ground for themselves. They're not contested right off the bat, but Evil and Waterson going down is not going to help their chances. Spamfest's gun can't get built, and the Uber is off in flank here. They're not able to get the gun quite yet, as the angle is bad for them, and they're not going to get anything. They get Adam at least. Sam picks him off in the front line. Spy moves something Evil, unfortunately not able to land those backstabs when he had the chance, and now another hold for side of Wish mode. They're extending this time into overtime.
You can kind of like hear me deflate for the folks back home, and I mean for both of you in the booth as well. Once you've used your best idea and your second best idea and then your third best idea, and then suddenly, like, once your plays have stopped working for so long for the offense, it's like something changes deep in your heart, in your soul. It's eroded and withered.
I believe they call that tilt. And I get tilted holding the score button, seeing Blake on an 8k, Joey Lemons on a 5k, Wish on an 8k, and Nixie on a 6k. That's 5 players on massive kill streaks not dying at all for the side of Wish mode, and MCM just look like they have no answers. None of their pushes have worked, none of their Ubers have gotten anything, and they're just not able to find their way in. This time is stretching probably into 10 minutes overall now, as they need to find something to work with.
They can't even pick where they want to take this Uber. I mean, Figsy's had Uber for God knows how long now. Some of the classic Figsy binds in the chat here. I mean, they're working their way, like, this is when it comes down to Giraffe and these other players who, like, just pick something and do something, but they're all in their own heads.
Offensive Uber from the defense here. Wish gonna get his kill streak ended by a sticky trap. Unfortunately, this time the offense has the better Uber. It looks like they want to try and spam the gun down. Evil gets the sapper off before he gets air blasted. That is crucial. While in draft can go down, though, a 7k for Joey Lemons, pumping out that explosive damage. Still alive and spamming that cart now. Main is getting under fire, and even with that advantageous Uber for the side of MCM, they're not able to get in, they're not able to make space, and they're getting held once again.
Dude, I agree with chat. Stop the count. Stop the count. It's over. This is too sad. We need like a mercy forfeit or something.
They
like
have a minute
6s.
40 left on the map clock right now. If MCM aren't able to cap in a minute 30 by now, they're not going to get anything. Sapper in for Evil, managed to find it. Can they get anything else? Sapper gets unsapped, and now Hyphen going to keep that one up. They weren't coordinating time. That gun cleans up, gets a 4k. Hyphen now on a 6k overall, extending those kill streaks. That was just a bit off timing. If the sacks came in a second earlier, that Sapper would have been what they needed, but it was just off timing.
I'm like, I don't even know if I want MCM to get this cap now or not. Like, should we give them the hope that at least they have last to go for and to hold for in the next round, or?
Phew, a long heater out for Adam. I like it. That's the Alta special in my book. Gonna be railing some fire damage into the enemies, but only 50 seconds left on the clock. Figsy doesn't have Uber. I don't see Figsy charging up. Is this, yeah, Figsy didn't spawn. What's up with this?
I had missed, I guess.
Okay, so Figsy got knocked off the cliff by Elemento. Meanwhile, everyone's sacking for cart, which makes sense. They don't find anything, expectedly. So now Figsy gonna start charging up. 30 seconds is not enough time to build this Uber, so it's only dry pushes here for MCM.
Yeah, this is a quick fix moment if you're MCM, which it's not, but it should be, because you're not going to get a charge here. You can at least tank the cart. That's just for our medic players in chat here. MCM does go for the flank, which is important, but it's too late. You don't have this much time.
Sapper is in time, though. They get the gun. Instead, RJ gonna get mulched down by that Hue Long Heater. Joey Lemons hits his 12k, 13k onto Wild, Nixie on a 7k himself, and this defense was oppressive and dominating for Wish Mode. They're gonna clean up everyone left on cart, just spawners, and that is a last hold, 5-3, but any fourth cap will win them the game.
Right, man. I think I'm trying to like rack my brain. What's that?
Joey Lemons ended on a 14k.
He's killing it. I'm trying to rack my brain and remember the maximum round timer. It might be 15 minutes. So
I wouldn't remember. We don't see it very often on Vigil.
It might be more. It might be 16 or 16:30. But either way, for our folks back home, the fans, hopefully Wish Mode fans in the chat here, we have either 5 minutes for Wish Mode to cap third, or they have to get last at all. I don't remember the time we're on last, but that's the way we're working here.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of time. The chips are overwhelmingly stacked in Wish Mode's favor here. It would take a miracle out of MCM, considering what we've saw from them just now. They look deflated. They look defeated already. If they're able to pull out the miracle, we'll have to see. But again, Wish Mode are our favorites here to take this match. We just need to see them carry through.
And as we're checking out our logs here, we have a Hyphen going Wish Mode on 16-2. A KD of 8.
Yeah, when they run into his gun over and over.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Joey Lemon's really laying it down on 18-4. I mean, Wish still going 16-6. Crazy frags. I mean, these players did really, really well in terms of... oh, actually, it's the same thing as the last time. The whole of...
He got sniped somehow. I don't see how that is. I don't even see the spy getting sniped on his offensive rollout. Either way, he's going to go down. Quickscoped apparently by Waterston, so that's some vintage Waterston getting the spy quickscope. Either way, now Cart getting pushed up to this final point. Wishmart are holding decent, or are pushing decently fast here. There is contention from Sand here, but he's going to drop. You don't normally want to lose your sniper and heavy to 15-second spawn timers there. So now Sand's not going to be up if they do decide to go fast.
Yeah, this is a little bit too late. Oh, I'll also mention, as pointed out in the chat, Blake had a perfect defense for 15 minutes with no deaths.
They are going to go fast.
This
take advantage. Yeah, take advantage of the down heavy. Going to go in. Pyro Scout doing a good job denying that Uber, but that's just the trade. We saw this last round. That's all Wish Mode want out of this, is to get that Uber chain for free and then do the repush.
Yep, Uber's off the board, buffing it up, and then the play. Jacob going, taking the aggro from the gun, turning a lot of heads. The rest of the offense, they get 6 players onto this hill, Zach. It's not even working, but it also can't fail. You know what I mean?
Evil found Blake in the backlines, but it might be a bit too late. The offense has taken the space, like you said. They're already up on the hill. Gun's gonna go down even without a medic. We see Wish Mode, and there's Nixie with that space, gonna find the angle onto Figsy, equalize that medic disadvantage. Wish in the backline, gonna clean up RJ, and even with them losing their medic instantly, the push goes overwhelmingly in favor of Wish Mode.
Yep, and as we mentioned, right now, it's gonna come down to what, ooh, wait, what
Spawn
the heck?
shot. Yeah, spawn shot. It's cheeky from Waterston to get that kill, but they can't get onto the cart, and that's a second cap instantly. Now, 3 minutes for Wish Mode to cap this third point. MCM, they need 2 steps. The first step is hold this for 3 minutes.
This was such a close game for 2 rounds, and suddenly it's a complete landslide in the Wish Mode camp.
Yeah, we're gonna see Spy decloak. There's a long walk up for AGB. It's a bit, you make a wish and pray for that one. Not gonna find it. Evil though going down the other side, and the defensive Spy is a 20-second spawner compared to AGB's 7, so he'll be up and in action fast. Waterson gonna expose that he's there watching this combo. Now Demento over the top, trying to find some players. Nixie loses that SVS. In the meantime, Demento is gonna find that high bomb onto Figsy, getting that enemy medic before getting hit down by Spamfest. Great bomb by Demento there, completely unseen with how high he went.
I mean, this defense, like, they traded a bunch here, but always trades are better for offense. Your spawns are so much faster. Defense has to set up stuff like a gun or a medic building Uber or a soldier's banner. You know, everything that the defense has to build up is better for offense. So, by just taking these trades, these exchanges, now Blake has full out on Figsy, and they use it right away.
Yep, gun gonna go down instantly around the corner. There is a heavy from underneath that may be a bit of a nuisance. He is dealing some damage right now. Is Sand. Edney gonna go down to AGB, and Spamfest Evil also dropping. We see now Draft getting some damage out onto Joey Lemons, and Wish coming in, getting some cleanup. There's a lot of frags on both sides, but overwhelmingly more in favor of Wish mode. AGB gets that sap onto the gun, and now it's just Weil and Figsy here. They are not backing to spawn. They need to keep hold on this, and they can't get out in time. That's gonna be the capture on third to secure the 2-1 win in favor of Wish mode.
So huge. I mean, it was such a close game, and like just a little bit of adaptation, just a little bit of you know, those few plays from MCM that didn't work on last, those few plays from Wishmo that did hold last for longer than they were maybe slated to, as foretold in the prophecies. These teams played so well, and for Wishmo to take the win here, I think shows what a strong team they are and how well they work together.
Yeah, it's definitely a deserved win for Wish mode. It could be them being stronger overall. It could be the early season, synergy that's already pre-built, like you mentioned, factoring into this a little bit. But either way, they played extremely well. That first round, they took some time to get going, narrowly lost it by, a couple seconds on that last point. But then after that, it was a dominating performance. And I feel like you have to give them credit. Whenever there's 3 rounds like that, and one is close, the other 2 are snowballs, it kind of plays into the close round being more so the abnormality instead of the 2 snowballs, right? Like the two very decisive rounds. So Wish mode looking very strong here. Keep in mind, one of these 2 teams are definitely our favorites to take the championship this season, so we'll have to see what ends up happening between them. Keep in mind, Payload Vigil is a very niche map in comparison to the other maps in rotation, so this might just be one that if you are MCM, you look to just ban away if it comes to it in playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, if you're MCM, it's almost like it's not like a cursed talisman. What's the word I'm thinking of? But MCM played so well in the first round. Like, they did awesome. Even in the second round, they did almost really well. But that third round, like when it came down to like the team versus team, leaving it all out on whatever adaptations we're gonna make, that's when there was a really big difference in terms of Wish mode. So I'm very excited, like you said. MCM let them figure out a little more of their protocols, maybe, a little more of their chemistry and coordination. I think they're going to be a really strong contender against this Wish mode team. But for now, well played. Wish and Joey Lemons, they killed it. I mean, the rest of their team, Blake, all these guys did incredible. So hats off to them.
Dolphin has given us the final logs of the overall match. Oh, wait, those are some incorrect. Oh, no, I just typed in the wrong thing. Let me pull up those logs. There we go. Those are correct. Sort by kills, we see Wish at the top, 48 and 17. What a dominating performance from the namesake of Wish mode. Just crushing it. 300 DPM on Scout on Payload is also nothing to scoff at. Joey Lemons, 40 and 18. It was just a massive difference overall. Like, if you remove the first round, the logs don't look close in the slightest, right? Like, absolutely nothing was close this game. You can't do that, though. You still have to give MCM the credit. They were able to take a point, and that's going to be beneficial to them because, keep in mind, RGL works on a match point format where every single round you get factors into your overall season score. So this round, it's not for waste. They did good enough tonight to get that round on the board, and with improvement, like you said, if they get their cohesion under belt forward in the season, keep improving, they're going to be okay with their performance tonight.
Yeah, I honestly think if you're both teams, you walk away from this like pretty happy. I think for MCM, it's like you had the DM and like the initial plays to deal with them. That's like the hard part. Like if you have like a good baseline, that's what most teams like. That's the big difference at the end of the day. So all that happened was the adaptations out of the side of Wish mode. They were ready for what MCM had. They changed up their weaknesses. I mean, Nixie came back. Nixie out. Do you remember the first round was 14-4 for Waterson? And at the end of the game, Nixie fragged harder than Waterson. And also, let me be more clear. Nixie went 29 and 18. Waterson went 26 and 40. So like Nixie went positive to 1.5. Watson went like almost half of a KD or something like that. So really, really big turnaround for Nixie and for the rest of Wish Mode as well. Really well played.
Overall, Blake only on 8 deaths, and the second round, I do believe he went deathless, or was it? It was the third. It was the last defense. He went deathless. So amazing game from Blake. Figsy on 14 deaths. You know, when your team's losing, that's just gonna happen. Another interesting thing is we mentioned that Waterson was 5-1 in SVS round 1. Waterson still came out ahead overall. It was 10-7. So even though the last 2 rounds were not in his favor, overall he was still winning it. It doesn't mean much, just interesting to track. But yeah, that's pretty much all for this match. Dominating performance from Wish Mode after that first close round. So it's going to be interesting to see how these teams track throughout the season. We'll have to see if the coordination and the team synergy keeps coming in spades for MCM, and if Wish Mode can keep up their their first place kind of title, like the preemptive title, where we're looking at them as the favorites. It's gonna be interesting to see where this goes. And yeah, that will be it for us on Highlander tonight. Before we go, we got some merch. You guys can type !merch in the chat to check out all of RGL's designs. They rotate seasonally, so there's more for you to choose now than if you did more merch before. We have amazing designs. All the proceeds will go to our talented staff at RGL, the graphic designers, the admins, as well as Dolphin and us. So if you want to support us, support RGL, and support Team Fortress 2, !merch, check some of that out. Purchase it if you feel like. And thank you for supporting Highlander and TF2 in general. And also, we have another match coming up later here in just a second. Sixes, Froyo versus Witness Gaming. It's going to be an amazing one. If you think about it, we had 2 matches tonight that were basically, potential championship previews. So that's very cool. If you like Sixes at all, stick around for that. It'll be hype. We're going to be turning it over to Jarrett and Space Ghost, those 2 main men holding it down. So stay around for that if you are interested. Rogue, you got any last minute shout outs to give here?
Man, shout out to both of these teams. They played so well. Shout out to you guys for having me here. Thank you so much, Dolphin, behind the camera, for putting this all together. Thanks, Zag.
Yep, thank you for coming out here, especially on a bit of short notice. And with that, that's it for me, Rogue, by my side. Dolphin's going to be sticking with you guys to get you through Sixes. And thank you for watching Highlanders tonight. We'll be back next Monday for another exciting match to be sure. So thank you all, and we'll see you in a couple minutes for some Sixes.